then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hotland of the home right now of round number 3 of the Racers Elite Cup Series playoffs. I'm Dave Regal alongside Mr. Jordan Brockell here in what is appropriately named the Tony Trapassa Memorial Broadcast Booth. Folks, we are going to be touching on some emotional things tonight here in the booth, but also we want to be talking about the playoff races that are going on right now in the Racers Elite family of racing series. Unfortunately, we don't have the graphic up for points tonight due to a technical problem here on our end. We've got most of it figured out. It was a hardware problem on my part, but got the old keyboard back where it was supposed to be thanks to the help of Mr. Matt Metler, who swung in like Batman on a rope. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in and welcoming us, Dave Regal and Jordan Brockell, right here on Sim Racing Media, because we'll be with you through it all, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. Jordan, I know that it was a little rumble, stumble, fumble before we went live here, but my God, what a night.
Yeah, absolutely, and I look forward to this one. Track's kind of cool tonight. They're going to be gripped up, and these guys have been hungry each and every race so far this year, and it's only gone up even more now that we're partially through this playoffs. And I look for these guys to really kind of push it to crazy here tonight.
Yeah, crazy is an understatement for sure as we get ready to rock and roll. And folks, we will be taking a moment of silence later on this evening during the first 2 laps of this race after our call to green. As just as on a personal note, it has been 1 year since we lost the great Tony Trapasso, in whose booth we sit in, and on a Sunday night in whose seat I sit in. And Tony was an absolute great human being and an even better friend. And we went through some ups and downs, and I joke about sim racing media being the place where relationships come to die. And believe me, when my marriage came to an end, Tony was there to hold my hand and walk through that traumatic experience. As easy as the transition may have seemed from the outside, it was people like Tony who really worked through that with me. And I miss my friend. And I'm trying really hard not to work blue tonight as qualifying is underway. And Jordan, looks so far like Brandon Sanfilippo is going to hold fast time at 29.65.
Yeah, and not a surprise there for me. He was fast last week. He was fast in the truck series on Tuesday. What I am surprised by is Honeycutt being a little bit further to the back, as he's been one of the fast ones as well. Ed Jurgen playing a little bit of a spoiler last week, taking the win away from Andrew Teft, who was trying to track him down but just could not catch him.
Yeah, Andrew Teft just finished his qualifying effort at 6th position. Now his brother out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island, Alex Teft. You know what this is? What all of these technical problems are tonight? They're caused by electromagnetic waves, and that's also a sign of, let's just say, the afterlife, if you will. And I think we have a gremlin in the booth, and his name is Tony. And quite frankly, stop it. I got stuff to do. I'm working. Jesus.
He's got to screw with you, right?
I named the booth for you. I do all this extra crying and whatnot for you, and this is how you treat me, you POS.
Well, that's why he's messing with you. He's like, dude, stop crying over me. I'm right here.
Yeah, that's... Yep.
But, based off just the stories that I've heard from you and everyone around, I wish I could have known Tony. Sounded like a wonderful man who lived his life to the fullest. And, no, I don't even, I don't know him, and I'm feeling the same kind of, like I want to get emotional, just a touch, because I can tell how much he meant to everybody and still means to everybody here at SRM. So tonight's for him.
It sure is. And tonight, thank you, because I had to gather myself. Here we are doing the starting lineup. Sitting on the pole position is going to be Curtis Ecker. In the number 12, Brandon Sanfilippo in the number 12 machine. He's got Curtis Ecker on the outside. Ed Jurgen and Brendan Wilcox in row number 2. Row 3 is Chris Blasi and Andrew Teft. Row 4 features Truth Hoke and Dennis Kane, while Brandon Honeycutt and Lee Campbell round out your starting top 10. Row 6 is there we go, is Diego Rodriguez and Alex Teft, while that son of a bitch. While Tony finish it. While Tony Trapasso is going to start on the inside of row number 7 alongside of Allen. William Skinner is going to sit on the inside of row number 8, while Troy Thomas will be starting shotgun on the field tonight. And I owe Matt Metler a giant kick in the groin. As right now, I can't even get
certainly for that one, these guys are going to go ahead and come through to the turns 3 and 4. Pace car is going to turn a hard left turn.
And here we go. And here we go with the pace car down pit road. The only thing that's left to do is It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some popcorn, call a friend, and settle in. Race fans, it's showtime!
You see Jurgen on the inside there. Had a little bit of a gap there to the, looks like the 50, or the 11 of Chris Blasi. Sanfilippo under fire by Curtis Ecker here, already hanging out there on that outside line. He's going to barely clear him as he comes off turn 4. He's going to lead the first lap here. Curtis Ecker going to lead with Wilcox on the outside of Sanfilippo now too.
2 laps in the books now as we work our way through turns 1 and 2. Looks like as we get everything up the way that it's supposed to go. Here are your playoff drivers on the left-hand side. Curtis Ecker, Brendan Wilcox, and Brandon Sanfilippo lead the way. And we will talk about those points positions in just a few moments as Curtis Ecker hauls it out of turn number 4. And folks, if you would please with me, observe a moment of silence for the next 2 laps. Thank you, folks. I promise that we won't have another moment of silence all race long. These drivers have gotten it cranked up to crazy. And as we work lap number 5, Curtis Ecker still with control of this field, but watch Ed Jurgen in the 92 as he is trying to creep his way right on up here into 3rd position as he has now hooked himself to the rear bumper of Brandon Sanfilippo.
Yeah, the Sanfilippo, I mean, it looked like he was going to be good. I mean, he had a little bit of control there, was able to clear himself and pull away for just a touch. But then Wilcox and Ecker, both on the outside line, found their way around him. And I mean, it almost looked like he had a parachute attached to him.
You'll have to forgive me for trying to peel back the curtain a little bit. I was doing some other racing the other night as other broadcasting as a commentator. And I had my audio all kinds of backwards. Good Lord, what a difference that makes. To be fair, folks, most of the time I sit here in the number 1 chair, and, usually I don't have to touch anything. I just open the computer and go. It seems like every time I change something, there's a gremlin coming to get me. Tonight, it happens to be the spirit of Tony Trapasso.
Yeah, I mean, you got to sit back, and now we're throwing you right back into that number 1 chair just a few days later.
Brendan Wilcox makes a pass for the lead, and as we go out here to the blimp view, let's check this out. Ed Jurgen and Brandon Sanfilippo go side by side down here into turn 1, and they're nearly ready to start touching fenders. As now Jurgen drifts to the high side. He's got the momentum. He can use that high line. There's a lot of speed locked up there. He's going to bring along Sanfilippo and hang the 19 out to dry on the low side. Usually you get hung out on the high side, but at a place like this where it's basically a mini super speedway up with a connection issue as Sanfilippo, at a mini super speedway like this, there's a lot of speed locked up onto the high side.
Yeah, and how what I said at the top of the broadcast is where we're a little cooler tonight than we have been for several races this year. We have a lot more grip tonight, and I think people are going to learn very quickly that high to middle groove is going to be the point here tonight. Where usually running that low line is the premier line. I think we're going to see a lot of people have a lot more success from that high line.
10 laps in the books, 105 laps the total distance tonight. Let's take a look, or let's have a chat here about our point standings. Right now, things have gotten tighter than a snare drum for a bagpipe band. Brendan Wilcox leads the points with 2,081. Andrew Teft is just 3 points back from him at 2,078. Then 2077 for Lee Campbell, 2076 for Brandon Honeycutt, 2075 for Brandon Sanfilippo, 2072 for Truth Hoke. Diego Rodriguez sits in 7th right now at 2061, while Curtis Ecker is at 2060. So that whole top 8 group of drivers is separated by literally 21 points from 8th to the number 1 slot. And right now, Wilcox here trying to make a case for himself to try to put a little bit more distance between himself and Andrew Teft, as Teft right now has the 98 running back in 7th position. And I got to see Teft race the other night in the truck series. In fact, that's what may have caused this gremlin here with my audio. But Andrew Teft is just the side of a tire-saving, fuel-saving wizard.
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, he's also locked in on Tuesdays for that playoff, and here he's sitting technically 3rd, with Schlosser being the only one to catch a win in this chase. So he's got Lee Campbell right on his heels, and he's got to think of every possible little thing as in his strategy to find the slightest bit of edge to stay in front of some of these guys here. And he does it to a T. I mean, I've watched him save, and then take tires at a different point than everybody, and finds his way right up to the front.
14 laps in the books. Let's take a look back here at the 311 of Matt Metler, who has decided to change his display name this evening to Tony Trapasso, and the
Yeah, you saw what I saw.
Well, Metler is full of a load of something, that's for sure. As Metler right now is just sitting outside of the top 10, which is anchored by Troy Thomas here in the 8. And I'll tell you what, I love when people use just this font on the 8. Just makes me feel like a like a 12-year-old kid again with my Dale Jr. hat.
Well, it's one of those fonts that you don't change it. I mean, like if they brought out the 24 or the 48 in a different font, I mean, pretty much all of Hendrick, in my opinion, if they brought it out in a different font, I'd be like, I'd be really disappointed. And even the 9 kind of irritates me a little bit, because I was a Bill Elliott fan when he was in the 9. So not having that Everham E on the back of it really just doesn't sit well with me.
Chris Blasi here in the 6 machine. Now, Blasi, another driver that probably would have had a shot at the playoffs had he run the whole season here in the 11. Right now, running in 6th position. We're taking another look a little bit further up the line. Here's Brandon Sanfilippo. He runs 5th in points, but is only 6 points off the lead. I mean, right now, these guys are lucky that nobody's brought themselves like, an axe or a pitchfork or a torch or a set of hammer and tongs.
No, yeah, I don't know how you do it, but every time you say something, I'm like, nope, not gonna get me. And then it gets me. Breaks me all the time. But yeah, I mean, these points are super tight, and we see a couple guys in here that would be able to make the playoffs had they run the full season. But what's even more impressive to me is the fact that Brendan Wilcox is leading the points, and he's missed 2 races this season, and I mean, that in itself is phenomenal and magnificent to my eyes.
Right now, your race leader is Ed Jurgen here in the number 92. Obviously, if he's leading the race, that makes him the highest running non-playoff driver, followed only by Chris Blasi. There are 4 playoff drivers between him in the form of Brendan Wilcox, Truth Hoke, Brandon Sanfilippo, and Curtis Ecker. And right now, as we go and look out the rear here of Ed Jurgen out of Mullica Hill, New Jersey, he's got some drivers. I'm not calling them Angry Hornets just yet, but if you kick that Hornets nest, they're coming for you.
Oh, absolutely. And he's probably happy just to play a spoiler for the second week in a row. As you see Wilcox getting a little bit of a gain there, looking to the inside of him. And that's the first time we've really seen anybody make some kind of gain on the inside. It's mostly been up top for the entirety of the night. And, don't look now, but Truth Hoke has found his way up there as well. I don't know where he came from, but he's snuck in there.
Taking a look here at Brendan Wilcox, he just went to nose himself to the inside of Ed Jurgen and now kind of backs himself off. But here he goes again. Let's watch him try to make the pass as he's going to sit high, wide, and handsome. We'll spin that camera around, and now all that Wilcox can see is Jurgen and the double nickel of Truth Hope behind him. And I'll tell you what, if I see somebody like Truth Hope behind me, I'm sweating. "22 laps in the books here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wilcox, Jurgen, Hoke, Sanfilippo, and Ecker. Alex Teft right now, after a kind of a rough couple of weeks here, right now he sits 12th in the points with an even 2,000. He hasn't raced since the beginning of the playoffs. And now the Family Dollar 43 is last here on the racetrack. 16 seconds, that's half a lap to you and me, behind our leader, Brendan Wilcox. And I'm curious what Teft's deal is. Not racing that often since the beginning of this chase. It's definitely you're not comfortable in the car. It doesn't feel right, and he's also struggled a little bit in the truck series too. So it's one of those things that if you're not in this car specifically every single week or multiple days of the week, it's really hard to get accustomed to it and run it to perfection. Running anything to perfection is difficult on iRacing, and I know that we've seen it happen. Of course, I've got Parker Retzloff, the real Parker Retzloff, in Monday Night NASCAR Xfinity Series action right here on Sim Racing Media. Not to name drop or anything, but, he has got it figured out, period. And I think that a lot of these drivers should be in the Parker Retzloff notebook because, first of all, if you're going to watch somebody do it, make sure it's somebody who gets paid every day for it.
Exactly, and he even had success at Daytona, which I know the what's, I don't want to say stereotype, the what surrounds Daytona is anyone can win. It's all about survival, and it's one of those races that if you win, sometimes people will be like, but he won at a super speedway. But he did it, and it's not easy to do by any means.
No, it's not easy to do anything here consistently on iRacing. One of the most important things that I've found is, to start watching other people. That's truly how it works in the real world. In the NFL, of course, which does start tonight in a few minutes over on Peacock. Don't turn your channel. Just know that it's over there. You don't have to change.
Sorry, I had to.
But, over on Peacock, football coaches and baseball coaches use notebooks against other players and teams all the time, and that's the same thing that you need to be doing here on iRacing or Racing IRL. Is somebody tickling your fancy?
I just looked over and I think some dude just got hit in the head on the pre-show for football because you said it and I took a peek over and I'm pretty sure some dude just took one to the dome. It threw me off and I couldn't help but laugh at it.
Whoops.
That's one of those things that's you can't stand the football to the forehead. Certainly had a couple of those, but I had a helmet on, so
it would explain a lot if you didn't have the helmet on.
I chalk that up to leading with my head too much, and then on top of that, being a professional wrestler, that doesn't do very well for your head either. So,
well, no, something about a chair to the back of the skull doesn't seem like it's safe.
No, and I was the yes sir guy, so if they wanted someone to fall through something or jump off something, I said yes sir. Why? Because it's fun.
Yes. When I think of fun, I think of grab a steel chair and clock me in the back of the noggin with it.
There was my favorite story was jumping off of the barricade, and I was supposed to hit my head on the stairs, quote unquote. And I actually hit my head on the stairs because my fingers, when I hit my head on my hand to like lessen the blow, my head pushed my fingers further apart, and I smacked my forehead on a piece of the diamond plate on the stairs. So I busted myself open.
Jeez. I mean, I would say be careful, but I don't think there's a careful way to do that.
Certainly not. I've always said that wrestling is professional falling.
No. And, oh my God, you're like Buzz Lightyear. You're not flying. You're falling with style.
Falling with style.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know that you were.
It's perfect. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
Oh, it's a rescue, all right. Take a look at Andrew Teft here. Speaking of rescue, Andrew Teft has been quietly crawling back up here as he now runs in 6th position, passes the 55 of Truth Hoke as he had fallen back earlier. They nearly went wheel well to wheel well coming into turn 1, and now as they roll out of 2 onto the backstretch, Andrew Teft back to where he had started in 6th position. Now he puts Dennis Kane in the crosshairs. And, you look at this field and you think, oh, just 16 drivers, that's not exciting. I call BS, because these 16 drivers are out here. There's only one driver that's generally off the pace, and that happens to be, Alex Teft. Well, actually, okay, 2 drivers.
I was gonna make fun of him, Alan Bergen.
Nah, he means well.
I'll leave out. Leave Alan alone.
I mean, maybe Matt Mettler. Oh God, this is killing me to look at his name here. Maybe Matt Mettler already spent the max load that he could trying to get down one spot. Jeez, and side by side they go. Here are the 8 and the 9, William Skinner and Troy Thomas, as now Skinner overcomes Troy Thomas. I say overcomes, and it's Mettler with max load.
There you go.
As suddenly we have a battle for the lead starting to heat up here. It was brewing, and now it's percolating. Here it comes with Brendan Wilcox trying to work the outside of Ed Jurgen. Jurgen just took the lead back a moment ago, and now it looks like Wilcox is a little angry that this non-playoff driver is up here running around again. And, let's take maybe just to give a little bit of background here. I almost said backspace, but background here. Keep in mind, Ed Jurgen won last week at Phoenix. Ed Jurgen won the regular season finale at Homestead. So Ed Jurgen's got 2 wins on the season, 1 in the regular season, 1 here in the playoffs, and Jurgen is now hauling it down pit road as it looks like he's going to be the first to blink here on lap number 37.
Yeah, and certainly that's probably going to cause some of these other guys, if they weren't thinking about coming soon, they're certainly going to be coming now.
37 laps for Jurgen, who's obviously going to be coming down for some tires. A tank of Go Fast, a little happy juice there, as Wilcox now leads Curtis Ecker by about 0.2 of a second, and Ecker has now got himself to the point where he's drawing in on Wilcox by about 1/100th of a second every few feet here. He just went from 0.2 of a second now to almost 1/10, so in less than a full lap, he almost cut in by half that time.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if these guys might actually even think about taking it a little long, and dragging out this a little bit. Now that Jurgen has come down.
Ed Jurgen, the only driver to come down pit road. He rolls off now, 1 lap down. I'm not sure if he's counting on a caution. But I don't know if he's seen these drivers recently, but they drive pretty clean, all things considered. In fact, just looking at the last couple of weeks here as we look at our latest... and here comes Ecker.
Yeah, so now it's going to leave Wilcox out there pretty much in a not quite a no man's land, but certainly a lot further ahead than he has been. About a second and a quarter ahead of Dennis Kane there.
2 weeks ago at Auto Club Speedway, we had 0 cautions at Auto Club. Okay, 2 weeks before that at Dover, we went green the entire race. Detroit doesn't count because it's a road course. But I mean, more often than not, we have stayed below 5 cautions. 7 cautions looks like that's the highest of the season, and that just happened to be, Daytona. So, all things considered, these drivers are a little bit too safe for Jurgen to be counting on that caution to come out. Now, obviously, once everybody else cycles through their green flag pit stops, he will go back to the point. But for the time being, Ed Jurgen trapped down a lap.
Yeah, and, for Ecker now, if there were to be a caution, I mean, he would have to hope it would be soon, because he doesn't want to get stuck out there on older stuff, as we see a couple more people starting to come down pit road and leave pit road now. But, at that time being, Ecker would have been, the second car a lap down, and Jurgen would have got his lap back.
Well, unfortunately, not so much. Here comes Alan Bergen down pit road, Lee Campbell, Truth Hope, Chris Blasi. So still, our top 5 have yet to come down. In fact, top 8 have yet to come down. As Matt Mettler in the Tony Trapasso number 311 is running in 7th position. He now improves to 6th as Bill Skinner gets out of the way and down pit road.
Yeah, and I'm wondering when some more of these guys are going to jump here. I'm not really sure what the fuel load is here, but certainly going to be probably coming soon. Approaching halfway here, and there seems to be a caution on the track now.
First caution of the night, and oh no, it's Alan Bergen.
Oh, Alan!
You had one job, buddy. Let's see what happened here with Alan. Oh, no. Oh! Lee Campbell just about shat himself.
Oh, certainly.
Let's see if we can get a little bit better of a view here, because that was an ugly start to that clip. Here's Alan coming. Did he hit like a weird bump?
Yeah, I think he hit like a one of those bumps that are down there on that lower under that apron, and he was along for the ride.
I don't think Alan meant to do that.
No, absolutely not. I mean, might have. I mean, it is out.
No, look at that. Look.
Yeah, it bounces. It bounces.
Yeah, but he wasn't even trying to transition onto the racetrack yet. Right here, folks. Boom, boom, boom.
You can see that Campbell goes up just a touch sooner, and he doesn't have that same reaction. There's just bumps down there on that bottom apron there.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to... You can't know that.
Believe it or not, there are people that know and see it, which is beyond me, but...
Well, that's going to make things interesting now. Of course, everybody who was just down a lap is now going to get that back, as all of your leaders, all 7 of them, are going to come in for pit service. Now Ed Jurgen going to cycle, what did I say, back to the lead, just in case anybody was worried.
Yeah, and you're going to see all these guys have to take a wave around too, so... They're almost handing it to him with ease.
My daughter is spamming my text messages. She's 4, by the way.
Oh, Lord. I don't want to know what my kid would be like. I feel like it would just be too... He'd be... the energy that kid has. I would love to have just a tenth of his energy. I saw that our boy Alan Bergen said go KC, and just for that, because I am a Maryland guy, I'm going to say go Ravens there, Alan. How do you feel about that? As we're going to see Derrick Henry starting in a new place, new face, or same face but new place. I don't.
Well, folks, nothing like having your children pay attention to what you do every night. 48 laps in the books. Andrew Teft, your new race leader. He last came down on lap number 45, so he's got those freshies on him. Andrew Teft, I'm sorry, now Brendan Wilcox is being scored the leader. Whatever. Brandon Sanfilippo, Dennis Kane, Brandon Honeycutt, Alex Teft, Tony Trapasso, Ed Jurgen, Curtis Ecker, and Diego Rodriguez, your top 10.
Yeah, and I think I saw Jurgen come back down pit road at some point through that, so I'm not sure what that was about, but certainly going to be one of his good workout for his favor there. A little bit of extra fuel.
The iRacing.com pace car leading us into turn number 3. First and only caution of the night so far, Jordan. We've seen some really good racing tonight as Brendan Wilcox and Andrew Teft going to lead us here back to the green flag. As it's going to be Wilcox with control of the field. We can see that he opted for that inside line. And here he comes into the Geico restart zone, and off we go here on lap number 48, just about halfway through.
Yeah, and he's going to get a pretty decent gap there, and he's going to capitalize on Jurgen not being in that front row. Try to get a little bit of space here. Try to run away, because one thing's for certain is Ed Jurgen's going to find his way back up to the front. See Taft working above Sanfilippo. Sanfilippo fighting hard down there on the bottom. Taft makes a clear there. And don't look now, Honeycutt's found his way up here into the top 5 as well.
"50 laps in the books, and here comes Wilcox, leading by 0.3 of a second. But watch this battle back here with Dennis Kane alongside of Matt Mettler in the 311 Max Load Toyota Camry, as Mettler rolls it out of turn 4. Whoa, they start to wreck behind him. There goes Ed Jurgen. Ay.
Oh, just as I said what I said, I gave him the jinx.
Way to go, Chaz. Let's take a look at the replay for this, because, oy vey. Oh, the 19 tags the 92. The 92 sticks with it, but then overcorrects and boom goes the dynamite. And just to make matters worse, the 9 pushes him up into the wall.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate there for him. I mean, came down pit road. I'm guessing got some more, a little bit more of a fuel load there, and tried to capitalize on that, and ultimately kept him back there in a little bit of trouble, and finds himself with some considerable damage now.
And with us here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth is Matt Metler, who is registered in this race as the great Tony Trapasso. Hey, brother.
Dave, how you doing tonight, my man?
You're my mom's favorite driver? That's fine. You can be. I want to say, I know that this is a special night for the two of us. I sit in his chair, and you were the last person to work with him here at Sim Racing Media. And what you did tonight, I really, although that I'm very thankful to you fixing my computer right before I went on the air, a little bit of a warning for what you did to me would have been okay.
Well, sometimes shock and awe is the best way to go, Dave.
You mean like when I hurled a grenade at you on Sunday?
Yes, precisely.
So you just one-upping to me?
It wasn't supposed to be that way. However, maybe it turned out like that. But, tonight it's all about remembering, the legendary Tony Trapasso. Hence the reason why I changed my name in STK to honor his legacy and everything that he did for SRM as a company, the broadcaster that he was, and the tremendous friend, that he was to all of us as well. Tonight it's been tough, but I wanted to come out here and just put on this race my heart out for him tonight, and he's riding with me. That's why I added his name to my SDK file. I assume that's what you were talking about when you mentioned the warning.
Yes.
Yes. It was kind of a last-minute decision, and sorry I didn't have a chance to bring it to your attention.
You're
but
not sorry.
Don't tell me how I feel.
in case you want to feel a chill go up your spine. We talked before the race, of course, while I was having problems with the keyboard and everything else here on the computer. And you came to the conclusion that it was electromagnetic interference because it's a Bluetooth keyboard.
Yes, sir.
What is electromagnetic interference a sign of? A possible sign of?
Someone else being present with us.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know what? That type of ordeal you were dealing with had Tony's signature all over it. That's something he would do to mess with you. 100%. I know that in my heart.
Yeah, especially because it was such a simple fix and I'm over here pulling my hair out.
Exactly,
but,
buddy.
If you ever needed a clear signal that, you know what? And here's how I'll put this all together from the spider web of my brain. If you ever needed a clearer signal that it was him tonight, he decided to mess with the electromagnetic interference between the keyboard and the tower because, he's here. And who did he send to fix it?
Me. Lo and behold.
So, all right, buddy, listen, I love you.
I love you too, man. And for the record, there's a very special paint scheme on my car that I did not change. So you had some issues with your computer that were, how in the heck did that happen? And my paint scheme got changed as well, and I can't explain how. However, both totally has Tony's signature all over it, so I'll leave you with that.
Yep. Listen, go out there and drop a load on the start-finish line for me.
You got it, boss.
All right, brother.
I'm going green and I can't focus.
All right, brother. Good luck the rest of the way.
I'm going to hang on for dear life, brother.
Well, folks, that's the voice of the great Matt Metler. You can hear him every Sunday night with me on Sunday Night NASCAR right here on Sim Racing Media. He, just in case you ever wonder if there is an afterlife or if there is such a thing as paranormal activity, I am officially a believer as of tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you there on that. Definitely had some of those instances happen before. It definitely sends a chill up you, but it's certainly also a very gratifying feeling too to have something like that and feel a presence.
Well, all I can say is, Matt Metler is one of the people that, after all of the laps that we have sat together for, he is somebody that you can put your feet up with and just talk stupid with. And growing up in a firehouse the way that I did, that is my people. He is my people.
It's always good to have your people. People take others for granted and don't recognize how important they really are until that time is sorry, I'm getting a little choked up now. As we get ready to excuse me, come back to green here, enters the restart zone. Wilcox going to fire off ahead towards turn one. And but back to what I was saying is, people take time for granted, and I know that all too well. The man that taught me how to wrestle and was my teacher and my mentor, and the guy that I looked up to and wanted to be in wrestling, tragically passed away in a car accident about 4 years ago now, and it doesn't. You got to take everybody that you have in your life. Take all the time that you can. Make that phone call. Make that text message.
Do not waste time. I think what kills me most, as we watch Brendan Wilcox step away from the field by 0.7 of a second now, Diego Rodriguez is fender to fender all of a sudden with Alex Teft. Where did Teft just come from? He was dead last 20 seconds off the pace, and now he's up here duking it out with Ed Jurgen hot on his trails, and he's... Wait till you see this. No, wait. He did it. Diego Rodriguez pulled this one off again, and he gets me.
Howdy, Dave Regal.
So a couple of months ago, I was calling a race for the SNN Truck Series, and they put I lie. It was the Xfinity Series, and I had started to go on and on about my love for Spirit Airlines. I love flying Spirit, mostly because I'm a cheap prick. So next thing, and I always think that it's friendly when you get onto a Spirit Airlines aircraft, and the little wingtip at the end says howdy on it. I just think it's friendly. So I was talking about it in the broadcast, and next thing you know, for the truck race that Tuesday, all of their teammates had painted them Spirit yellow and put Howdy Dave Regal on the deck lids.
Yeah.
And he's done it again.
I believe I was there for that race, because I specifically remember the 4 trucks. I want to say it was 4 trucks.
Yep.
And we were all in that same color.
Yeah. I nearly died. But
I know this... I don't mean to cut you off there, but I think we've got a number 98 Teft possibly clutching here. I don't know if it was Rodriguez because we were riding along, or I just happened to notice it while riding there with Diego. I'm not sure who it is, but
let's find out.
Certainly some strategizing going already.
Strategery. If it's not Rodriguez, it has to be Teft. That's a Teft move.
100%. And you said that he's a saver, so
he's never mind. I almost made a terrible religious joke. And you know what? He may not be doing it every lap. He may be doing it like every 3 laps just to save a little bit. Keep himself competitive here. Nope, it's Teft. He knows where to take that momentum and let the car naturally glide through the turn and rotate. He allows Rodriguez now to slide in front of him. And, I know that Andrew Teft is, of course, the chief cook and bottle washer here in the Racers Elite Series. But he's not paying for the fuel. It's electric. You went right there. Took the words right out of my mouth. 3 wide they go. Look at the 12. The 55 bounces off of the 12. Now has to check up. Oh, that was near disaster right in front of Andrew Teft. as he is now going to be our Tide Ride sponsor of the day with the brown stain in his shorts.
Yeah, certainly. For his benefit, he dropped back just a touch there. Because had he not, he would have had a full door side of Truth Hoke there.
"64 laps in the books, on our way toward the conclusion of this. We're just about 40 to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Brendan Wilcox in the Racers Elite Cup Series. He leads this piece now by 0.6 of a second over Ed Jurgen. Now, Ed Jurgen is one of those guys who he's almost like a cat playing with a mouse. I started to notice this last week. Jurgen will let you run away for just so long, and then he starts reeling you back in. It's almost like, like a loan shark where, you get away from the loan shark, and next thing you know, it's, well, I could just borrow a little bit of money.
A little bit
of money.
Just a wee bit.
But right now it goes Wilcox, Jurgen, Kane, Ecker, Rodriguez, your top 5. Truth Hoke, Brandon Sanfilippo, Andrew Teft, Brandon Honeycutt, and Bill Skidder rounding out your top 10. I do a really good Chalmers. That is a really good Superintendent Chalmers. I mean, I can't
trying
do
to think
anything
of what that is.
From The Simpsons.
Sorry.
From The Simpsons. Skidder!
I was more of a South Park kind of guy.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I do love South Park. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very large child. We've got a little 4-car pack running here side by side. Touching is the 20 and the 19. They exchange a little bit of paint from the fenders as now the 20 of Diego Rodriguez hauls it down here into into the backstretch. I'm sorry. As we go down through here, watch Truth Hoke in the double nickel. He's going to now get kind of hung out to dry as once those tires start to give out, the car has a natural... Whoa! Big hit into the wall for Diego Rodriguez. The car has a natural tendency to tighten up as those tires start to liquefy here on the bottom of these race cars. And, it's not a good tight, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, and... Okay.
I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there, but
Tiptoe on the high wire. We like to fly without a net here at Sim Racing Media.
well, I mean, based on one of the viral videos I saw, it doesn't matter if you have a net; you still miss the net sometimes.
That's fairly accurate.
I saw this video and I was just like, I watched it like 4 times. I wish I didn't because it's burned in my brain, but she missed the net entirely.
Can I just, and of course, it's not the fall that kills you, it's that sudden change of direction at the end. Can I just say that the guy who does the tightrope walking, like in Chicago or wherever that guy is, like he walked across the Sears Tower building in Chicago, I know
what you're talking about, but I don't know who it was.
He also walked across like either Yankee Stadium or it might have been the Vet, or his dad walked the Vet here. You could not pay me enough to put some ballet shoes on and go walking across a cable hundreds of feet above the ground with nothing but me and Jesus between the ground.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done a lot of stupid stuff, as we talked about in this, where, I jumped off ladders and stuff like that, but I like controlled chaos, and, in that specific area, you don't really have control of the chaos.
No, and it's not fun if you're not in control.
No, and I mean, because one little gust of wind that you're not expecting or don't brace for, I mean, see ya. That's like the guys that do the free climbing in, on the side of buildings. I don't get it.
Truth Hoke in the double nickel now sits between the 19 and the 12. Curtis Ecker here. Is that a red Jack Daniels paint scheme? That is sharp.
Yes, sir.
Jack Daniels is my friend.
It's a Jack and Cola.
Ah, but they won't say which... Oh, yep, there it is on the front. Coca-Cola. Just kidding. Can I just say, I was a lifelong Coke addict. Only Coca-Cola. I guess I should have prefaced it with Coca-Cola addict, not Coke addict. But I used to never like things mixed in my Coke. It was always Coke or, maybe if you want to put some ice in there, I'd be okay with it. But a few years ago, because I'm a giant child and I stuck with beer for most of my life, which explains my rotund size, I discovered Jack and Coke. And then I was like, because I also, in the wintertime, I switched to bourbon. Then I started doing other things mixed with Coca-Cola, and just not a bad thing. Jack and Coke, rum and Coke, rum and rum, Jack and Jack.
Just not Jack and Jill?
Never Jack and Jill. Well, I mean, unless it's ice cream. Honestly, also delicious to mix up is Rita's Italian Ice and vodka.
Really?
Yes.
See, I'm not
Tell
a
me you
big
don't
drinker.
like Rita's Italian Ice.
Oh, I love Rita's Italian Ice.
Okay,
Are you kidding me? If you don't like Rita's, then I don't want to be your friend. Like, simple as that. Like, if you don't there's something wrong if you don't like Rita's Italian Ice. And, I mean, and if you're one of those guys that gets a Misto shake, you're doing it wrong. And I want to spit in your direction.
I don't like the Misto shake, but I do. So I discovered, back when I was a service tech on the road, I discovered that the Rita's slushies, the Rita's drinkables, not the Misto shake, just the drinkable, just the slushy, because all they really do is put water in the bottom of it, is perfect. It's the only slushy that you will ever consume that doesn't have like that chunk of just clear ice in the bottom of the cup.
Oh, that sounds like heaven.
It's still, and I get my favorite is Swedish Fish.
See, I always go for the root beer. I just love the root beer flavored Italian Ice for some reason with the vanilla custard. It's like a root beer float. Another thing that I feel like I used to love and I shouldn't have because they were actually pretty syrupy was the Not Your Father's root beer.
Never liked them.
See, I loved them.
Now I do not like Twisted Tea, but I like Long Island iced tea.
Twisted tea. I'm a Twisted Tea guy.
Yeah,
I think it's just because it's tea, and I drink at least a gallon every 2 days. So
yeah, that used to be me.
I'm gonna have kidney stones the size of softballs at some point in my life because of it.
Oh my God! Please let me be there when you pass one. You know what? I have to say, I have never had the displeasure of a kidney stone, but I used to work with a guy who passed one that, I kid you not, was the size of a small marble.
Oh, ooh.
And of course, he passed it at work. I have never felt so nauseous while on the clock.
Yeah, no, it's so. I gotta try to do this as PG as possible because I know when I usually talk about these things, I say the wrong words. But anything that happens to someone else in that general vicinity, I feel like I can feel it. So if I saw that stone, I would feel it leaving my body as well.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I remember playing football one time, and a dude was playing with one, and in him, and he went to the bathroom, and he come running out, and he's like, "I'm free!" And I was like, "Ow!" It's like the middle of the game, and now you're just gonna go out there and be fine.
Well, here we are on lap number 82. We're just about 20 to go. Curtis Ecker currently running in 5th position. We're going to step aside and pay some bills here at Sim Racing Media. We have sponsorship obligations, so we will step aside and take care of those obligations. And when we come back, the finale here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Racers Elite Cup Series.
can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh my
and to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Back here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, caution on the racetrack, and everybody's getting their service done now. Got 17 to go here, and it's going to ramp up rather quickly here. Just given the situation, you know, being only 17, probably about 14 or 15, maybe 13 to go here once we get back under green. So it's going to be interesting to see how hard these guys really push here. I believe it was Sanfilippo that was our guy for cause. And then William Skinner seemed to have a little bit of an issue as well. So Sanfilippo and Skinner both having issues here. Looks like it's going to cost Skinner the race, and he's going to be out. But getting a little dicey here.
Yeah, with 17 laps to go here, and we're here at Charlotte. Folks, I deeply apologize. For some reason, I thought we were at Atlanta tonight, and maybe I just had the wrong information pulled up, or that it was the gremlin that had me all kinds of sideways and confused coming into the race. But now I've got some Bacardi Zombie next to me, so I will surely be more focused.
Instead of like your vision going all different ways when you get drunk, it actually pulls your vision in together.
I think that's what they call functioning.
Hey, alcoholics are the ones that admit they have a problem. I don't have a problem.
Nope. The only problem is when the bottle's empty.
Oh, Lord. You know, I got one thing to say. Football is back. This is the best time of year. We've got football, baseball, hockey's around the corner, NASCAR's going, IndyCar's going, NHRA is still going.
Yeah, in fact, we're getting ready to have NHRA at Maple Grove.
Yes, we are. I'm probably not going, but I usually like to go up there.
Yes, in fact, the 2024-2025 NFL season kicks off at 8:40 Eastern Time, which should be just about, now, except that, of course, there's all kinds of pregame hubbub, if you will. I don't think I'm a Peacock subscriber anymore either.
Oh, I've got to be, because that's how I get my WWE premium live events each month.
Yep, according to my phone, I am no longer, because I had gotten Peacock. Oh, wait. Never mind, it's on my phone.
It's bad when you don't even know what services you
Here
have.
we are live. They're literally, just as I open up the video stream on my phone, they are literally about to kick off the 2024-2025 NFL season. New kickoff rules are engaged. And it looks like the Ravens are going to be set to receive the first kickoff of the season.
I'm watching Rob Riggle smack a drum.
Yeah, I'm past that one. So I'm
a little behind.
You must. Well, I don't know how little your behind is. And there it is. And the 2024 NFL season is underway, and I don't know what the rule is here. I tried to figure this out during preseason, and I could not.
So from what I understand is it has to make it into that box. It has to be in that, what they're marking is that yellow box. And anything further, I believe they get to like the 30-yard line or something like that. But if it bounces in that box and goes out, it's like the 20, 25-yard line. A little confusing, but I think it'll be a good thing to the game.
Do you realize how close we are to a weird baby made between Australian rules football and arena football?
Yeah, but it's just like one of those things. It's like, give us back early 2000s football.
I just
want to
see hitting.
Yeah.
You know, and
I understand trying to protect players, and I understand it. I mean, I probably had like 9 concussions myself. But
I mean, without concussions, Troy Aikman wouldn't be the Hall of Fame broadcaster that he is. Oh, see, there's your first Troy Aikman reference of the season, the pride of Henrietta, Oklahoma. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer.
And his team hasn't done anything since the 90s.
He's still handsome.
That, I cannot deny that.
He's a handsome guy,
Truth
right?
Hoke sideways.
Oh, no.
Gonna grab the inside wall.
I'm trying to find Truth Hoke as we stay green. Let's watch this replay real quick. Truth Hoke having the rear end of the car just kind of slide out. He keeps himself moving forward. But definitely could have been another caution here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and you've got 5 hungry drivers right there in that top 5. Ecker in 7th and Rodriguez in 8th. All just trying to get this win, trying to lock themselves into that final championship race there. And, 13 to go, about to be 12. Oh, Alex Teft sliding through the tri-oval there. Got squirrely there for a minute. So both Truth Hoke and Alex Teft both having issues here, falling way back to the back of the pack. Sanfilippo lapped down now after his issue, trying to just basically pray for a caution at this moment just so he can get back caught up and get that lap back. And, Alex Teft in the wall again. Alan Bergen stuck in the middle between them two. As we come to 11 to go, and it's just getting even a little crazier at Wilcox. Wilcox has a commanding lead over Honeycutt and Teft. And,
he just smoked his own fast time at 29.6 flat.
Yeah, and it's severely faster than most of these guys, except for Sanfilippo. I mean, it's 9 thousandths of a second, but these guys he's running away from these guys, and basically they're racing for second best at this point. If he can keep this kind of pace going up, but I just gotta hope that he doesn't, necessarily burn some of his stuff up, trying to run away from these guys.
Without a doubt, but here's Brendan Wilcox. Now, as we talked about a little while ago, and now, of course, those numbers are away from my screen. I need them back, please. Brendan Wilcox, of course, a playoff driver here in the Racers Elite Cup Series. And here's the thing. I know that we talk about, how important being at every race is and logging as many laps as you can is. Listen, this is a fixed series. This is all about driver skill. I mean, Wilcox got in here on points alone. That means he's a very consistent driver. And even as I pull up his independent stats, here's how he has performed this season so far out of 8 starts on the year. He has an average start of 7.6, an average finish of 7.7. Can we say consistent?
And consistency is key.
He's only led 123 total laps of the season. He's only got 5 total top 5s and 7 top 10s on the season. No wins. He actually may pick up, with 8 laps to go, his first win of the season right here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Why would you do that to him? Now you're going to give him the jinx, but I mean, it's going to take a lot for that jinx to take in effect. But I mean, Honeycutt and Teft are basically just waiting for something to happen, because they're just kind of stuck in his rearview mirror, and it's, you know, music to his eyes to Brendan Wilcox though. And your Wilcox is going to come out of 4, going to go down to 6 to go here. A little bit of a fight there in the back, with Alex Teft rebounding just a touch to 11th instead of being way back in 13th. Hope bouncing back up to 9th already. But, you know, Wilcox is even pulling on these guys a little bit more, almost a second lead over Honeycutt. And Teft just in tow behind Honeycutt by about half a second. So he's really kind of just stringing this out a little further. Honeycutt closes in through 3 and 4, but Wilcox is able to stretch it out through 1 and 2. 5 laps to go here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jurgen fighting to the inside. Yeah, and you can see the balance of Ecker there. He was kind of bobbling through those corners. So you can see that even though we have a lot of grip in this track, it's still a little on edge. Still has a little bit of a slip and slide to it. As we're down to just 3 to go, Wilcox still leading Honeycutt by just under a second. And like I said, I think it's just a race for second place right now.
Well, let's take a look here at that battle for second place. There's my mouse. It has just been that kind of a day. Popsicle sticks are in the air. We're 2 laps to go. Brandon Honeycutt now sitting nice and pretty here in front of Andrew Teft. And Andrew Teft here, as we look a little bit closer, he might have thought that he could sling this one in behind the 13, but I don't know if he's got enough time to try to turn it on for a P2 finish. Here is Honeycutt taking the Dr. Enough Toyota Camry to the low side. It opens the door for Teft on the high side, but as we cross the start-finish line, the popsicle sticks go down, the white flag is in the air, and we're racing back to checkers.
Yeah, Teft looking to the inside of Honeycutt here. Gonna try to get a drive off, but it's not as easy to get that drive off on that lower side. Gonna have to have one more try here to be the bridesmaid two weeks in a row here. Goes up high, up to that wall, but I don't think he's gonna do it. Honeycutt's gonna come second. Teft is gonna hang on to third, and Wilcox is gonna be your winner here tonight in Charlotte.
Brendan Wilcox captures the checkered flag here at Charlotte, right here in the shadow of all that is NASCAR. As he lets things cool down, he's going to be followed by Brandon Honeycutt and Andrew Teft on our podium. And there I see Rodriguez and Sanfilippo tussle a little bit here, deeper in the field. Let's see if we can get a hold of these drivers and have a little chat. Little chatty chat here. And with us now in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth is your race winner, Brendan Wilcox. Hey, Brendan, it's Dave up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, guys?
Man, you're what's going on. You waited until the postseason to pick up that first win on the season.
Yeah, good time to get started, I guess. Not gonna lie, I kind of got worried at the end, that second to last pit stop. I didn't expect everyone to come down. I wasn't gonna be good on fuel. I was like 2.5 gallons short, but I knew if I picked it up, I would force the rest of them who were forced to save to kind of pick up the pace, maybe burn a little bit more fuel, maybe force them to stop, or that caution came out and really helped us. But yeah, car felt good. Can't complain about the result.
No, you certainly can't complain about a P1 finish, that's for sure, when you're the man who catches the flag from the stand. I mean, overall, it was a great race tonight. Just a few cautions, which is, becoming part of the hallmark of the Racers Elite Cup Series. But, before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank and who helped you get it done tonight on the 26 team?
My teammate, Will, he got wrecked out at the end, but he was giving me good tips throughout the race, telling me, where the pack kind of was running, what was the fast spot, kind of where others were. And then you guys for putting this on, taking time out of your week to broadcast this, and yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, congratulations. We'll see you next week. And once again, a tip of the cap to picking up that first win of the 2024 season.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely. And Jordan, I believe you have with you now Andrew Teft, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer, right here in the Racers Elite Cup Series.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah. So you had a good run there on Brandon going into the last couple of corners there, and it seemed like for a moment you were going to get there to him, but it seems like once you got right there to him, it's almost like there's like that beach ball or that invisible wall that kind of keeps you from fully getting there.
Yeah, where I caught him in one, I kind of just got a really bad entry angle and wasn't able to pull off the pass, and then it was too late to get another run at him. But yeah, I thought I might win it before that caution came out because I was going to be able to stretch it on fuel and really wasn't losing too much time. But it's a shame that had to happen.
Yeah, and kind of looking here, I know the points haven't updated just yet, but you're only going to be probably about 3 to 4 points to the good, going into the last race before the season finale. And that's got to bring a little bit of nerves to you.
Yeah, I think I was 3 behind going into this, and then we've got Talladega next week and Old Atlanta the week after. So next week is probably anybody's ball game. You never know what you're going to get at Talladega. Maybe I'll take the lead, maybe I'll finish last. So and then 1.5 miles could be somewhat predictable, but going to be heavy on tire wear, and I'm pretty good on the long run. So I feel pretty good about it, but it's definitely not a walk in the park.
Yeah, and with somewhere like Talladega, it's such an unknown. Like you said, you can finish first, or you could finish last. You could find yourself flying through the air. But certainly, the last couple of weeks have been really good to you, and doing well in the other series as well. It's got to help you out through here as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think this may be my best shot at the championship this season. If I can have some luck over the next couple of races, and I can qualify well in particular. That's been important. But did I? I don't think I answered your question, did I?
Yeah, it just if it does well for you to do well in other series, if it carries over from one series to the other.
A little bit. We race at a lot of the same tracks, but there's really a different feel for each of the cars usually, or sometimes a totally different lines altogether that you need to run between the nights. I think it does expose you to a wider range of situations, and I think just racing more in general, regardless of what car you're driving or what track you're at, is going to make you quicker. So, but I just have really good attendance. I'm always here saying I run the thing, so I do pretty good on points. I'm kind of like a Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, certainly, always there, and I've gotten to know you pretty well because of how often we talk up here in this booth. So I'm gonna want to wish you luck on all of that, and hopefully look forward to talking to you in the next couple of weeks. And before we send you on your way, is there anybody that you want to shout out?
Yeah, congrats to Brendan. That was awesome at the end. I gotta find some more short run speed in these races, but my family for letting me play, our servicemen and women, you guys for doing the broadcast, everybody that tunes in to watch and shows up to race. Our next race is Saturday night in our Super Speedway series. It starts at 10 Eastern. And we've got a money race on Sunday at noon, which is a full length New Atlanta race in Nextgen before the Real Life Cup race. Should be fun.
That's how I did it. I was thinking
Yeah.
about this weekend's race. I opened Andrew, I swear to you, I opened the race and thought that we were Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because I had done all of the reading about Atlanta for the weekend.
Kind of similar. Still got the weird dogleg kind of thing. But yeah, check us out. That's a big race on Sunday. Hoping to sell that out. And if we do, it's up to $500 in prizes. So head on over to racerselite.com and get a Discord invite and come talk to us.
Certainly looking forward to everything you have going on here in the next couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to that Stafford series coming up here at the beginning of October.
Yeah, absolutely. Starts October 4th. We're going to have 3 different divisions in the same show. Slate model stocks, SK modifieds, and Whelen modifieds. Each of them are about 60 to 75 laps, about a half hour each. It's something different. Have a chance to win 3 times in the same show.
Certainly can't go wrong with that by any means. I want to wish you luck for the rest of the season, and we'll be seeing you throughout the series.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Andrew. As we head on here and start focusing on the next race at hand, before we get out of here tonight, we want to take one final look at our results from here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brandon Wilcox captures the checkered flag. He's joined on the podium by Brandon Honeycutt and Andrew Teft. Ed Jurgen finishes in 4th, while Chris Blasi makes up the rest of your top 5. Diego Rodriguez comes home in 6th, with Curtis Ecker in 7th. 8th goes to Truth Hoke, while Lee Campbell and Troy Thomas round out your top 10. Alex Teft and Dennis Kane come home in 11th and 12th, respectively, with Brandon Sanfilippo and Alan Bergen in 13th and 14th. 15th goes to Matt Metler, posing as Tony Trapasso this evening, and a tip of the cap to our very dear and departed friend. And last but certainly not least, on the field, somebody had to do it, is William Skinner here in 16th position. So, folks, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. We want to thank you for welcoming us into your homes and onto your phones, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the kind words and thoughts and prayers, of course, for those of us that are just simply missing Tony. And, that's a man who lived life to the fullest. And we appreciate all of the kind words. So thank you for that tonight, folks, as I know yours truly definitely needed. So tomorrow and every day, and this is what Tony would always tell us, tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.